Alright guys, welcome back to Forward Builds. It is the next weekend here and I'm back working on the 2020 VW Tiguan. And just noticed there's a couple of little unpainted areas just where the windshield goes, just on the bottom here, and also at the top there's a larger spot. The metal is showing through, so we've got to get this painted up so make sure it doesn't actually rust. So let's just give it one last wipe with some isopropanol, and look how dirty that is. And just make sure you mix up the paint really well. We'll let that flash off and then we'll come back and we'll do a second coat. Alright, and whilst we're waiting for this primer to flash off, I've prepared myself an area. I want to bring out the dashboard. So if you recall, our dashboard in my car, in the car, was pretty mangled. It was pretty smashed up. So I want to take this home and get all the vents, everything refitted into the dashboard, and then come back and install it into the car. Let me get this unpacked. I'll show you what it looks like. There's the new dashboard, the replacement dashboard. It's in really good condition, and will do just fine in a car. So let's go and get all these vents refitted. And I just remembered while we've got this spare vent, as you can see, the one on this dashboard is actually broken. It's got a large hole in it, so this one's got to get removed and replaced with this one. We ran into a bit of an issue. Well, not a major issue. This end actually has to be glued onto this, I guess, vent duct. Alright, so I don't actually have the glue here on hand to be able to glue this together, so I'm going to take this home, get it glued, and then come back and install it. And once we've got the dashboard out, it's going to be nice and easy to get these passenger airbag installed. So 4 T30 bolts. As you've seen, I've glued this together. That's a nice tight seal now. That glue is some fantastic stuff, I must say. Right now I've got pretty much everything ready to install a dashboard. We're ready now to install a dashboard, so let's go grab it and get it in here. I'm mega happy. Take a look at this. We've got a dashboard in. It is looking awesome. Obviously all the bits and all the accessories need to come in, but the dashboard fits up really nicely. All the holes line up. Take a look at that guys. That is looking awesome. That is looking fantastic. Take a look on the inside. So a virtual cockpit is going to come in there. Obviously the steering wheel needs to go back. We'll need to actually put all the turn signals on there, all the levers, the entertainment system, vents, glove box, and all the stuff that goes behind it, and obviously our center console. Guys, this is a really big milestone, so we'll come back tomorrow and we'll continue on, start refitting all the bits and pieces and make sure And as you can see, we've got our roof liner back in. And with that, I must say a big thank you to my brother-in-law, Fanek. Fanek, thanks very much for your help. I do appreciate it. He came out on Sunday and helped me get this roof lining installed. So now we're able to start putting in all the trimmings on the sides, on the A, B and C pillars, and then also remount all the accessories into the dashboard. On this, go up a little. Go here, this through. So I think now we've got this bottom piece here that we've got to get in, and then we've got to get this side piece in here. It goes right there. So just trial fitting these side pieces. If you recall, these were the pieces that we had broken in the car, so we've got this brand new. I'll submit. Okay. Trim piece took much longer than I anticipated it's going to take. After all that, the trunk is finally put together. Just the top cover needs to come on. I'll put that on. So guys, now we can start moving towards the front and getting all that fitted back, and getting this interior back to looking brand spanking new. So take a look at that. We've got the windscreen in, and our 220 Volkswagen Tiguan is starting to look like a proper car now. Just go ahead and remove this tape. Bam! And there it is. Here the plan of attack is that we'll start with the I-pillar trim, the passenger footwell, and then we'll start working our way back. So then the B-pillar, and then the sills will be last. Okay, we've got the passenger side trim refitted. So the I-pillar, that little quarter thing there, took me ages to get that done. The clips I use on that is just totally stupid. I'm really starting to hate Volkswagen for the way they're progressing with these clips and the way they mount things. It's just totally stupid. It is really hard sometimes to actually get these things back, get them back in shape, into the same spot. It takes a bit of trial and error. As you can see on the outside, it's dark. It's gotten quite late on me. Some of these things are actually taking a lot more time than they should have. On the Skoda it was actually rather easy to put everything back. Here it's a bit of a nightmare. So guys, now I wanted to install, one of the first things to install, I wanted to get in our new virtual dashboard. So if you recall, our old one was smashed up, so I've got a brand spanking new one. There it is, and I wanted to install it in there. And there's our virtual cockpit, all mounted. Just need to get a couple of screws in there, right there and there. Get that secured, and that's ready to go. So guys, I'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, so let's head upstairs and get all the interior parts down here and get those fitted into the car. Let me get those pieces downstairs and let's get to work. Well, before he actually progresses with refitting any of these, I actually need to screw down the dashboard because if you can see, not quite sure if you'll be able to pick it up here, but there's a spot right there, there's another spot right there, there's a spot right there. There's about 12 spots where the dashboard needs to be screwed down. And just for, I guess, the people that are doing this and replacing the dashboard in the car, there's 1, 2, 3 right there, right there. There's one right there, and obviously the 3 on that side. So now our dashboard's secured now. Whilst you're doing this, check all your cabling, make sure your cabling's fine, everything's connected. The last thing you want to do is forget to connect something up. Take your time with this. Well, at least I'm not in a hurry, and you shouldn't hurry when you're doing this. Right, the interior reinstallation is coming along. So we've got the trim pieces, one of the vents in, the glove box is in, the center console is in. Gave us a bit of a scare because completely forgot about this piece that goes around here, and obviously the center console didn't fit the dashboard, and I wasn't quite sure as to what needed to go there. What's one of the things that you need to keep in mind when you take things apart and you don't put them back together quickly? You can forget things. Fairly simple. There's a couple of slots at the top there, and then I just need to pop into it. Yeah. Let's give the interior a bit of a vacuum, get all this gunk out of here, get all our tools out, and get the seats fitted. Okay, so this side is done. I'll go and do the other side, and then we'll get on with installing the seats. And whilst I was cleaning, I noticed that I didn't plug up these, I guess, slots for what the screws are to mount the center console. Right, actually, whilst I was grabbing the seat, I noticed, guys, that there's a broken wire underneath here, so it needs to be soldered together. Alright, so I cleaned this area up a little bit, and guess what, guys? Look at that. I've actually got my soldering iron here. I thought I took it home, but it is actually here. I've got the solder, got some electrical tape, and I've got some, I guess, the heat shrink sleeves. Okay, so let's just first cut the shielding off. There's 3 wires in there, so let's just get that prepped. The seat's all soldered up, so let's get it in. Ja pierdolę. And there you go, guys. Whilst I get the seat in, damn it, the scratches I put in the paint. Right, so now let's just get this plugged in. Anyway, we'll go to the painters. I'm sure they'll be able to get that fixed. It's just one of those things, guys, unfortunately. Alright, and the interior is essentially done. So the dashboard's in, steering wheel in, all the airbags are connected, all the seats are in. And apart from this bloody scratch that I did today, I've done what I set out to do. And now there's a couple of little things that need to get done on the actual suspension, just to get that ready. And the car is now essentially ready to go to the mechanic to get the engine put in. So the only thing I really got to do, guys, now is I have to take this wheel off, put the stabilizer bar linkage up on there, because the other one was bent and I had to remove it. And I've got to actually take the front bumper off, because I want to get the front bumper off before we actually take this car to the mechanic. So obviously for the moment it's still a Flintstones car, still no engine, but hopefully soon the engine and the transmission will be back and we'll be able to get this car on the road. Alright guys, it is a couple of days later. Alright, so we've had some snowfall. Let me maybe take you outside and show you. You can see it is cold once again. So we've got the heater going. And we're back in the shop, so today we're finalising all the preparations to take this car into the workshop. So I want to get the front bumper off. We've got to put the stabilizer bar link on the suspension. I've got to just go through the engine bay, just make sure that we've got everything secured, so all the cabling, maybe replace that transmission mount. So yeah, we'll start going through these one by one, just make sure that we've got everything ready, so when the time comes where we can just take the car into the workshop. One more thing that I need to do here, if you remember, this front member was replaced, or this front frame was replaced, and there was welding that was performed about right there, right where the seam sealer is. So what I need to do now is get this cavity wax stuff in there. So you've got this applicator, so this goes onto obviously the nozzle, and then you've got this lead, so you can actually get that into the cavity, like so. You just go all the way through and spray that in there. So we'll get all these holes secured to ensure that there's no rust developing on the inside. Do this can shake up for 2 minutes. We'll shake that up and then we'll get this sprayed. Okay, so it says on the can that the operating temperature is about 25 degrees, so we actually got to warm this can up as well. So not only just shake it up, but warm it up too. So cavity wax is all warmed up, so it should be at operating temperature. So now all we have to do is just insert the nozzle into the right area. And just, what's that? Other hole now. Certainly has an interesting smell to it. Into the other cavities. Why? Okay, I think I might have got some on the camera. It's got a very, very powerful spray nozzle, I must admit that. Alright, so now let's head back into putting the wheel back on and removing the bumper bar. ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. So in the next episode, the car's going to get shipped off to the mechanic, get the engine refitted. I spoke with the mechanic the other day. He's actually sick at the moment, so he's off work. So hopefully next week I'll be able to get in touch with him. He'll be back in the workshop, and we'll get this car shipped out to him. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and we'll catch you guys soon in the next episode. Until that time, see you then.